3 fun facts about Marie Miller.
Her name's Marie.
She has 9 siblings. She's super nerdy. She loves reading classics such as super long Russian literature. And if she weren't a musician, she'd be a Broadway actress. So give it up for Marie Miller.
Thank you guys. It's so good to be here. My name is Marie Miller, and I'm going to start by saying how excited I am to be here, but also let you know that you guys are very special because I have this amazing eye infection right here, and so I'm not wearing mascara, and you guys are the first people in like 45 years to see me without mascara on in public. So congratulations, guys. So thanks. So if you guys do Instagram this, please just like really filter the crud out of this. So it's very humbling for me, and I'm wearing my glasses because, you know, it's like trying to make it seem like I'm chill. But so I really appreciate your Instagram filter, just insaneness.
It's okay, we got Snapchat.
So before I begin my talk, like many speakers, I'm going to start with a little joke.
Haha.
And it's a song, it's called 6'2", and this song is about not being too picky with who God wants you to marry. Thus, 6'2". This is actually called tuning.
Oh, give me a beat. Do it for the vibes. Do it for the vibes.
You guys are so good. Just like quietly talking while I tune. It's so sweet. So both of my older siblings went to George Mason, actually. Yeah, and I remember when I was 16 and 17 thinking it was like so cool if they would let me go to TNS. And now I'm so old, I think it's really cool you guys invite me because I'd be really creepy if I came now. Because I'm not a student. I'm old here. All right. And the 1, and the 2, and the 3, and 4. Oh Lord, I've been praying for somebody I've never seen, but I don't care what he looks like as long as he loves me. No, I'm not particular, but could he have blue eyes just like the sky and blonde hair, radiant light, and 6'2" is my favorite height. But Lord, I don't care what he looks like. So lonesome, waiting for him to come around. But if you're teaching me patience, I'm willing to wait some now. I'll be patient. But could we meet by the 1st of July so we'll hold my hand as they light up the sky and marry me on an April night? Lord, take the sweet, sweet time. Whatever we want is whatever I want. No, I'm not particular. So if he has green eyes, well, that would be fine. Or brown hair, well, that's quite alright. But 6'2" is still my favorite height. But Lord, I don't care. Could we meet by the 1st of July so we'll hold my hand That song is, like I said, a joke, and it's been fun to see how people have reacted to it. It was really awesome. It was on Dancing with the Stars, actually, a couple seasons ago, which was so cool. And thinking about people being coordinated enough to dance on television to that song kind of amazes me, and it would amaze you too if you knew how I got this eye issue, which I wasn't going to tell you guys about, but I think I'm going to do it. Putting on mascara. Poking my eye with it. Yes, that is my great story. And so now thinking about people dancing to my song and like being really elegant and not tripping is just sounding really amazing. Anyway, so 6'2" was on Dancing with the Stars, which was so awesome, and it's also been a few like engagement story song, like so like I heard it on the radio, and then I was like, wow, that guy, he's 6'2", I should write him a Facebook message. I was like, sweet, and the cutest things. And one time I was asked to go and actually like be a part of an engagement where I would kind of popped out of the woods, which I thought was a little creepy, but it was their engagement, not mine. Playing the song, and that was pretty special. So there's been some pretty special moments with that song. But anyway, that's all for the joke. But I want to talk to you about my talk today, which is called Becoming Katniss, your role in the cosmic combat. And you're probably wondering what in the world cosmic combat means anyway. What it means is that every one of us is playing a part in the war between good and evil. We are not in a war that's just Trump versus Hillary or Taylor Swift versus Kanye and Kim. Our struggle is infinitely more powerful, more epic, more important. All of our favorite stories hint at this reality that we are in. This great battle. Art reflects life. Art reflects who we are. And so stories like Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Hunger Games, Narnia, or Harry Potter all point to that fundamental reality. This idea that there's a great battle going on and that we need to join in. Just take a listen to a couple of these quotes and see if you know which epic goes with which quote. I made it easy. A day may come when the courage of men fails, when we forsake our friends and break all bonds of fellowship, but it is not this day. Very good. Do you know who said it? Whoa, you guys are nerdier than I thought. And this one you guys will know really easily. Like in the great stories, Mr. Frodo, the ones that really mattered, full of darkness and danger they were, and sometimes you didn't want to know the end, because how could the end be happy? How could the world go back to the way it was when so much bad had happened? But in the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass. Samwise and Lord of the Rings. And how about this one? Peter did not feel very brave. Indeed, he felt he was going to be sick. But that made no difference to what he had to do. Yes, very good. Yes. This is my favorite. With one sweep of my arm, I pushed her behind me. I volunteer. I volunteer as tribute. Hunger Games. Divergent, I didn't add that, sorry. Okay. So all these stories bubble up in us this desire to do something great with our lives, right? After you come out of those movies, it's a little bit of a, it's not like the same feeling when you come out of, Dumb and Dumber or something. It's like when you when you leave that movie or you're finished reading one of those books, you want to do something great with your lives. You want to fight for something greater than yourself. And you want to be the main character in the story. I mean, at least I do. I don't want to be like a random kid at Hogwarts or an unsuspecting muggle, when you're in Harry Potter. My sister once had like a muggle t-shirt. I was like, that's terrible. I don't want to be a muggle. I want to be Hermione. Like, you want to be the main person. We don't want to be just a stormtrooper. I don't have really good Star Wars. I don't know a bunch about Star Wars, so I gave this talk and I was trying to think of something. I was like, you don't want to be like a Jedi, and they're like, yeah, it's kind of what you want to be. But anyway, so stormtrooper, I feel like is better, but that's like a bad person. Is that the white people? And the but I know Luke and Han Solo. You want to be Luke and Han Solo. We don't want to be one of those shallow, terrible people at the Capitol and Hunger Games partying. We want to be Peeta and Katniss fighting in the arena. And we don't want to just be partying in Hobbiton, which I actually do. Just want to be partying in Hobbiton. It seems really fun. Bilbo's birthday. But we don't. We want to be Eowyn or Frodo or Aragorn. In our best moments, we want to be heroes. We want to be Lucy, Edmund, Susan, Peter. And I think that's why these stories resonate with us so much. As we love the comfortable life, we are highly unsettled living in it. And why are we so terribly unsettled? I mean, this is great, you know? It's air conditioning, hanging out with your friends, what's the deal? Well, St. John Paul II says, "It is Jesus that you seek when you dream of happiness. He is waiting for you when nothing else you find will satisfy you. He is the beauty to which you are so attracted. It is he who provoked you with that thirst for fullness that will not let you settle for compromise. It is he who urges you to shed the mask of a false life. It is he who reads in your heart your most genuine choices, the choices that others try to stifle." And this is the big part here. "It is Jesus who stirs in you the desire to do something great with your lives, the will to follow an ideal, the refusal to allow yourselves to be ground down by mediocrity, the courage to commit yourselves humbly and patiently to improving yourself and societies, making the world more human and more fraternal." I know that's a really long quote, but that's my favorite one, because I wondered, like, what does the Christian life have to do with these stories that I love so much? And that was the answer for me. It was Jesus who stirred in me the desire to do something great with my life. That those stories that I read and watched movies about were just hints and reflections of the life that I wanted to lead. It is Jesus who's calling us outside of ourselves. God has created us to be heroes. And this is why we are so unsettled staying anything else. He created us in his image, so we are far too much like him to be happy just living a comfortable life. As Pope Benedict famously said, "The world promises you comfort, but you were not made for comfort, you were made for greatness." Not just in these fictional stories, but we have real life examples of people that have lived heroically virtuous lives. Of course, we know in the modern age, John Paul II and Mother Teresa. Maybe a saint that you don't know as well is Pier Giorgio Frassati. Have you guys heard of him? He's kind of awesome. An Italian saint that lived a short life serving the poor, even while at university. I was a college student too, only for 1 year. But I remember thinking that I had no time to do anything, you know? And if you read his story, you get really humbled really fast, because at university he still was able to serve the poor, and he worked to fight the fascist regime. He loved to ski, and he loved music and museums. In most ways, he was just like a normal college student. But he lived his life knowing the secret that we are called to live heroically, to give our all to Christ. It was the only thing that would satisfy him. I love this story. I found this on the internet. He was participating in a church-organized demonstration in Rome on one occasion. He stood up to the police violence and rallied the other young people by grabbing the group's banner, which the Royal Guards had knocked out of another student's hands. Baller. Pier Giorgio held it even higher while using the banner's pole to fend off the blows of the guards. So cool. So here he is fighting political battles, serving the poor, just while at university, living a heroic life. Pierre died at age 24 from illness, but in his short life, he was a prime example of fighting in the cosmic combat. Even before the time of Christ, there are many stories in Scripture that teach us about living heroically. Last time I performed here, I don't remember, it's been a couple years, I think. 2? Oh, you're sweet, remembers me. But I sang a song, and it's called Song of a Martyr. And this song I'm going to play for you guys again. This story is from two books in the Bible, 2nd Maccabees and Daniel. And this story tells the story of both the 7 sons and their mother, who were willing to die for their faith, and then also the story in Daniel of the 3 men that were willing to die for their faith instead of eating the chocolate bunny. Well, you know what I mean. That's Veggie Tales for you uneducated listeners. But in both these stories, they're willing to give their all for their faith, to live heroic virtue. And the end of these stories are very different. In the book of Daniel, God saves them from the fiery furnace, if you remember. In Maccabees, the 7 sons and their mother are martyred. And I wanted to write a song about that moment that you're willing to give your all for your faith. And I also think about, at the end, in Daniel, they sing a song, which is pretty amazing to me, that after you're like almost burned to death, you're like, hey, let's sing a song. Taylor Swift? No, Bieber. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty amazing. And when they sang this beautiful song to God, and I have to think that the mother and her 7 sons also sing a song in heaven, and I can't wait to hear it. But this is my song for both of them. That moment when you say, I am willing to give my all. The king wants our freedom, he wants our homes. He demands us to worship a thing made of gold, but we won't. At the sound of his music, he wants us to dance and forsake our faith for the sake of a man, but we won't. Brothers, we are not so young to forget the battle that's already been won. And if we burn in this flame, turn to ashes as we came, we will surely rise again with the great Amen. With the great Amen. Our bodies will perish, our souls we will save, if we keep up our courage, the truth we won't shame no more. Brothers, we are not so young to forget the battle that's already been won. And if we burn in this flame, turn to ashes as we came, we will surely rise again with the great Amen. With the great Amen. Great Amen. If we burn in this flame, turn to ashes as we came, we will surely rise again with the great Amen. With the great Amen. With the great Amen. Thank you. So not all of us are going to be called to be literal martyrs, right, for the faith. But we're all called to live heroic virtues and to play our part in the cosmic combat. So how do we do that as college students? And sometimes really, really simple ways. It can be spending 15 minutes a day in prayer, going to daily mass as much as you can. I wrote, including that weirdo kid in your conversation. That could be me, saying hi to me. Participating in a Bible study, avoiding gossip, just like avoiding the bad. Or that show on Netflix that we know Father Serby wouldn't really want us to watch. Smiling even when it's hard to smile. Sometimes it's these really small things. When we read about Katniss or Frodo, we see them in their greatest moments. But those characters couldn't just possess those virtues right away. It was a daily process. Mother Teresa talks about this when she says, "Do not think that love, in order to be genuine, has to be extraordinary. What we need to do is to love without getting tired. Be faithful in small things, because it is in them that your strength lies." So the greatest story ever told is a true one. In the fullness of time, God became man, and he was crucified in all the ugliness and evil of sin. And it would seem that darkness won, but the light would not be overcome. The sun rose on the third day and opened the gate of heaven for all those who wish to enter. The story is not finished, though. We are all light bearers in this unfinished tale. The world is still filled with sin and death, but now we have the light to fight against it. And we can't fight this battle alone. We need each other. So I'm going to end with a song I wrote called "You're Not Alone," that I got to sing for Pope Francis, which was pretty crazy. You guys are supposed to cheer when we say Pope Francis. It's kind of great. Thanks. Thank you guys. I feel better now. So in September of last year, I got a call from the promoter for Festival of the Families, which was the event that Pope Francis, they had with Pope Francis in Philly. And he said, "Hey, Marie Miller, I heard you on Sirius XM radio. Would you like to sing a couple songs for Pope Francis?" We have Jim Gaffigan is performing, Aretha Franklin, and Andre Bocelli. Would you like to do it too? I was like, I don't know. Jim's not that funny all the time. No way, I love him. Obsessed. You know that was a joke, gosh. So I was like, shh. They were like, it's going to be 700,000 people are going to be there. It's going to be on CNN. All this stuff. I was like, I'll be there, sure, just let me know. So that was really super, super special for me, because what I do for my job as a musician, I work in the pop world and then do a lot of Catholic stuff too, and like for me, this really is like my mission, and as you can tell, like I'm obsessed with Katniss, and I think of it as this, is like the world, like the devil hates beauty, and the world needs it so much, so this is like my mission, so that's how I volunteer as tribute. So this is "You're Not Alone," and thank you guys so much, and thank you for dealing with me in my like eye. If you notice that I blink like every 30 seconds, I'm not winking at you guys. I know I'm too old for you. It's okay.
Sorry.
Yes. But I didn't hear what you said. And if I could just do a quick little commercial for me too. No, I'll do my commercial at the end actually. But this is "You're Not Alone," and this song is about friendship, and I think that really, if you're gonna fight, in every story that we read about, there is always those like incredible friendships that we work together to fight the darkness. So, "'Cause You're Not Alone."
Or two.
There's anything to say, I will tell
I believe. So listen to me now. Well, I'm not gonna stand here with my friends down and out, and I'm not gonna run. It's hard to figure it out. If there's anything I'd say, I would say it right now. You're not alone, you're not alone, you're not alone. You're not alone, you're not alone, you're not alone. You're not alone, you're not alone, you're not alone. You're not alone, you're not alone, you're not alone. Listen to me now. Listen to me now. You're not alone, you're not alone, you're not alone. You're not alone, you're not alone, you're not alone. You're not alone, you're not alone, you're not alone. You're not alone, you're not alone, you're not alone. Guys? So I'm gonna take a picture of you guys because you look good. Just because I don't look good. I put it on my Instagram. You don't want to be in it? You're cute though.
I'm totally in it.
Say cheese. All right. Oh, you guys want to be?
Panorama.
Oh my gosh. Well, this has been so much fun. My name again is Marie Miller, and it's been a blessing to be able to speak with you. I'm praying for all you guys. I've been praying for you up to this talk. And just in case you just loved me so much, you know, I just need to see her again. I will be performing with Mascara on September 23rd with my full band in Arlington. At Arlington, it's called Forum, and it's actually just St. Charles Borromeo, which is where Father Serby used to be, and it's not that far. And we'll be playing Friday night, I think at 8. And I'm super excited because my band is Stella. They're really great guys from Nashville that are coming to play. We're playing on Friday night. And then we're actually playing in Ellicott City, which is like an hour away. So if you're like really into like road tripping, the next day, September 24th. You can find that all on my website, mariemillermusic.com. But I'd love to see you guys there. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I played you a bunch of old songs. I have a new record coming out, so we're gonna play a lot of new songs. So if you just were like dying for more Marie, you can have her September 23rd. Thank you so much, George Mason, for having me. God bless you guys.
Hey everyone, we still have about 10 minutes, so if anyone has any questions. Brandon?
When does the album drop?
So we don't have an exact date. We're figuring that out right now, but all the music is finished, and the single should be out in like the next month. So there'll be new music. And yes.
What do you think is one of the biggest lessons that people to be really close to the church and your faith, and be able to take that to people in the secular world?
Yeah. So for me, the biggest blessing about being able to take my faith into the secular world, the music world, which is very much pagan country for sure, music industry is just to have that foundation and that joy. Like God is just like literally like, it's like Christmas time, and like, you know when Christmas when you're younger and like you get like a ton of presents one year and you're almost like feel bad about it. You're like, it's just so much, Mom, chill. Like that's how I feel, how much gifts I've given, like my faith, like that God's given me. And so it's like I want to share that with people that I meet. And one of the best moments of my career is when we were at South by Southwest, which is like Pagan Country 101 down in Austin, and this guy was like, your band is so joyful. And it was almost cheesy, but it was like, wow, like, okay, yeah, we're joyful. Do you want to know why? Like that kind of thing. So for me to be able to just like hang out and have a conversation, doesn't have to be about the faith, but just talk positively and just like love on them is a huge blessing for me to be able to do that. I know it's a big responsibility too. Anyone else? Any other questions? Don't be shy.
What instruments do you play?
Instruments. So I play mandolin and guitar, piano and an instrument called the bouzouki, which is cheating because it's basically just a mandolin an octave lower. So, but people think it's cool because it has a weird name.
Do you have a favorite church hymn?
Ooh, I think it's Be Thou My Vision. Yeah, that's my favorite. Saint, my favorite saint? Joan of Arc and John Paul II are my two favorite. Yeah. You guys are awesome!
What was going through your head while you were praying and flow?
What was going through my head when I was playing for the Pope? Well, first with my natural grace was I'm wearing heels. Why did I decide to do that? It was just like, it was just joy. I was so joyful, so happy. I've been praying a lot about God giving me a sign to continue to do music right now. And so I was like, Lord, like you just need to like shove me with like confirmation if you want me to keep doing this, because this is hard sometimes. And what's the next step? So yeah, and then like 2 days later after I like had this big prayer night about that, they asked me to play. So it was like total confirmation, just like, and I mean being a ham too, like to be like, oh, I'm like on stage in this like fancy stage, because it was like really like Grammy almost looking stage, was really cool. So I had to like keep my, I'm like, Marie, playing for Pope Francis, stop thinking about yourself. And then when he did thumbs up, we were pretty excited. But as you guys know, Kenny Kohlhaas, who's going to be doing music, I don't know if he's here tonight in the house. Kenny Cole, the house. He also played guitar. He's going to be playing for you guys on Sunday night masses, and he played with me for Pope Francis. And he tells the story that Pope Francis only gave him a thumbs up, but you can talk to him about that later. Gosh, guys. Thank you.
Louder than that, one more time for Marie Miller.